He brought his father to the city but left him in the small, cramped quarters of his staff. Ez was sent to a cheap hospital where Obinna visited sparingly, often reminding his father of the burden he had become. As Ez's condition worsened, Obinna's visits stopped. He hired one of his domestic workers to tend to his father's wounds, advising him to use salt to clean them instead of proper medication. The pain was agonizing, and Ez's cries echoed through the small staff quarters. But to Obinna, they were nothing more than background noise. Eze suffered in silence, his heart broken by his son's callousness. One day, unable to bear the torment any longer, he passed away, his spirit crushed as much as his body. For the burial, Obinna spared no expense, erecting a grand tomb and organizing a lavish ceremony, not out of love, but to preserve his public image. The villagers praised him, seeing only the appearance of a devoted son. Behind the scenes, however, Obinna's siblings watched with bitter resentment, aware of the truth. Obinna's mother fell ill soon after, her heart weakened by grief. She too sought her son's help, but each request was met with contempt. Afraid and heartbroken, she endured his neglect, the memory of her husband's suffering fresh in her mind. When her strength faded, she resorted to adult diapers, too frail to make it to the bathroom. Yet Obinna remained indifferent, ignoring her needs and dismissing her pleas. Eventually, she passed on, leaving a void that Obinna felt only momentarily. For a brief period, guilt gnawed at him, but success and wealth soon drowned out any remorse. He convinced himself that they had deserved their fate, labeling them as burdens who hadn't understood the value of hard work as he did. With his parents gone, he turned his back on the village completely, severing the last ties to his family. But Karma, quiet and patient, waited. Not long after his mother's funeral, tragedy struck. Obinna was involved in a devastating car accident. His right leg was shattered beyond repair, and doctors had no choice but to amputate it. His lavish lifestyle came to a halt. The wheelchair his father had once used became his only way of getting around. Worse still, the accident had fractured several of his ribs, causing internal damage that left him weak and constantly in need of care. In a cruel twist of fate, he now relied on the very same items he had scorned his parents for needing: the adult diapers and the crude medical attention. Hospitals became his second home, his fortune dwindling rapidly with each passing day as medical bills piled up. The city friends who had once showered him with admiration disappeared, leaving him alone in his suffering. Obinna